Hey everyone, today I'm going to be bringing you a review on the NYX Cosmetics Macaron Lipstick Collection, which they call Macaron Lippies. I just hate the word lippies so much, I refuse to say it, aside from this time now. So the Macaron collection features shades that are inspired by the confection macarons. If you're unfamiliar about what a macaron is, or you've never tried one, it's an almond paste crunchy pastry. It looks like a sandwich, and in between the two little sandwiches, the two little pieces, you have either a cream or jam or frosting. It really depends. I will try to include a link to pictures of macarons in case you don't know what they are, and they're not to be confused with the coconut treat macaroons. With that all out of the way, let's talk about the packaging. First of all, these lipsticks are in the typical NYX packaging where you can see the shade in the middle. They're not the ones where you can see the shade on the bottom. They are the typical NYX formula of the creaminess. They're not the matte ones. I was hoping that they were matte or satin, but they're very creamy, very moisturizing. They don't feel heavy on the lips, but you're wearing a lipstick. It's not like you don't feel anything. Some of them have problems, and we're going to go through all of the shades. I'm going to swatch all of them up for you. I'm also going to tell you which ones didn't perform too well, and some tips and tricks at the end to get them to perform better on you if you happen to pick up all of them. Some of the best pros about this collection is that it's affordable. It's a $6 per lipstick collection, and you can get all of them if you use the welcome code. I think it's 25% off your first order. You can technically get the entire collection for $30-something or $50. I think it's like $50-something, and you get free shipping. So that's pretty good versus what, the $72 price tag if you got all of them at their normal rate. Aside from that, lipsticks have been a trend for a while. Even celebrities like J-Lo have sported yellow lipstick. We've seen Kesha, I'm not a fan of Kesha, but we've seen her with blue lipstick. We've seen Rihanna with bright lipstick. We've seen a Katy Perry. We've seen lots and lots of celebrities with these bright lipsticks, but when you go to the drugstore, just a regular shop, even MAC, you can't always find these bright, different shades. And NYX really brings that to you, brings the bright shades to the mainstream in a very real way. We've had brands like Lime Crime, like Chambord, like Colored Rain, Milan Row lipsticks. There's a lot of brands out there that have some Melt Cosmetics that have some really fantastic lipsticks. There's a Lime Crime and Chambord I'm not a fan of. The other ones I mentioned, fantastic colored lipsticks, but they can be a little bit pricey, and if you're not used to buying online, you're like, okay, I don't really want to spend $14 to $20 on a lipstick that I might not wear all the time, that I haven't tried, etc. NYX is a brand that a lot of people know. Whether you're a makeup aficionado or not, you've probably seen the brand around. More people trust them, I guess, than just buying from a random brand online. You kind of are familiar with the formula already, which is nice. And the shades at $6 each, you can try a crazy wild shade, and if you hate it, you're only out $6 rather than $16. So let's go through the swatches. The first shade is Rose, and this is a bright pink shade. It's a baby pink shade. This applied very true to the tube. It was a little bit streaky, but it's opaque in 2 swipes. Very, very pretty. I mean, it's such a light color. It's whitening out my camera. And I like that it leans a little bit blue, so it's going to be flattering in a lot of different skin tones. The next shade is Orange Blossom, and this kind of reminded me of one of the shades from the MAC All About Orange collection, but it's definitely much more opaque than the one I'm thinking of. I think it's Sweet and Sour or Tangerine Dream, I think it was. That was like this shade, but it was so sheer. This is way more opaque. The next shade we have is Key Lime. Key Lime applied very, very streaky, patchy. You definitely want to be cautious when you wear this one, but it's extremely bright, so 3 swipes you get opacity, and look at how bright that is. No Photoshop, no filter, nothing. You get what you see, that bright, bright orange. There is no illusions about this shade, and that's just fantastic, because I never thought I would see the day when a common brand, a drugstore brand, would be bringing me a extremely bright lime color. Now the next one is Blue, and this one is Blue Velvet. Very, very pretty shade. This was actually extremely high quality, like 1 swipe opacity, 2 on the hand, but on the lips it was 1 swipe. Really, really pigmented. This one lasted quite a while on the lips. Lighter shades, not so much. Even though they're a little bit cheaper, they don't last as long as, say, a MAC. They don't last as long as a Melt because they're creamy, but they do for $6. You get about 5 hours of wear. The next one is Violet. This is a really pretty purple. If you're a fan of purple and you maybe didn't want to dish out on heroin, $16, you might want to pick up this one. I haven't seen if it's a dupe yet, but it's really, really a pretty purple color, and I have a feeling it's similar to heroin. The next shade is Pistachio, and this one is a really fun, unique color. It's a blued green, very aquatic. It reminds me of something very aquatic. And this was a little bit streaky on the lips. It was like 2-3 swipes for opacity. It's a little bit lighter than Blue Velvet, definitely a little more green. Then the next shade we have is Citron, and Citron it looks a little bit like orange yellow, but it's actually very, very primary yellow on the lips. This one was a little bit streaky as well. This one took 2 or 3 swipes to opacity on the lips. But once you got it opaque, you had that bright primary yellow that's not too bright, it's not that neon yellow. Really reminds me of that yellow that J.Lo wore in the video. I forgot what video it was, but you probably know the picture I'm talking about if you've seen it around the internet. The next one is Earl Grey. This one performed really well as well. I found the blues and the purples really applied well. Very smooth. It's a grade blue. So if you're a fan of blue and you were looking for something not so in your face, something a little bit smoother, you might want to pick that one up. And by smoother, I mean like a little bit more pastel, not so bright, like not so regular. The next one is Lavender. Again, if you're a big purple fan, you're probably going to like this shade. This one applied really well too on the lips. 2 or 3 swipes, opacity. Next up, we have Black Sesame, and I'm wearing this on my lips right now. It's a gray lipstick, and it doesn't really lean blue. Like I've seen Space Cake from Melt. Leans a little bit blue. This really doesn't lean too much. It's really more of a pure gray, and I appreciate that. And it's really opaque within like 2-3 swipes as well, even though it's a lighter color. Very, very thick pigmentation in that one. Not thick on the lips, not heavy on the lips, but just decent pigmentation. And then we have Coconut. Coconut's a white lipstick, and this one was really hard to work with. It's 2-3 swipes opacity, but it made my lips look yellow, settled into fine lines on my lips, was really unforgiving. And last but not least, we have Chambord. This is a black lipstick. Extremely pigmented, creamy, odd place to swatch, but it took 2 swipes to get opacity on the actual lips. Let me see. 2 swipes opacity on lips. So if you were looking for something creamier than Hot Core, if you tried that one for a MAC, this is definitely a great creamy black. It wasn't streaky, it wasn't patchy, it really applied well. It was a very good black. My Gothic former self would have been in love with this shade. But overall, as you can see, very, very bright, very, very pigmented. I liked that none of these shades were chalky. None of these shades kind of got that weird little ballage of pigment. I had that happen with the KOR lipsticks. I had that happen sometimes with the the Lime Crime lipsticks as well. Now the differences between this and the higher end brands like Lime Crime, like KOR, like other brands, is like I said, they have less wear time. A lot of these shades will settle into your fine lines of your lips. They are completely unforgiving, so please exfoliate your lips before you use these. Some of you were saying that the yellow shade here, Citron, really thought that's what you thought Playland would look like. So if you wanted Playland, you wanted that bright yellow lipstick, you can get it from NYX. Some of these shades are dupable for other brands. Like I said, I'm going to try to see if this one is close to Heroin. This might be close to Beautiful Rocket from Lime Crime. I'm going to check that out. The wear time for the darker shades is a little bit longer than the lighter ones. Like I said, you can get like 5 hours maximum. These transfer, they do not stick on the lips all day, so you might have to reapply a few times. Definitely carry it with you. Be careful when you have them up, because when I do this and I don't click it up, they kind of just start sliding down by themselves. So you're going to want to click it up if you are just having it out. I don't know why you do that, but I'm just letting you guys know about the packaging. It's not exactly sturdy. It moves around in the tube, so make sure you click it down, or make sure you click it up if that's the way you're using it, because otherwise it moves around, and I don't want anybody coming home to a lipstick that's like smashed into the cap. So that's one thing about the packaging that I thought you guys should know. So in terms of grammage, you are getting, I believe, 3 You're getting 4.5 grams of lipstick, which is slightly more than a MAC lipstick. MAC lipsticks, you get 3 grams of lipstick, so you're getting a little bit more, which is great, especially since you're paying less. But if you're using it more, because it doesn't last as long, you're going to want more product. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these swatches helpful. I'm going to have picture swatches of it on the lips, all these shades, at the end of my video. As you can see, a lot of the shades, most is like 90% of these shades, I think there was like the yellow, the orangey yellow one. That's the only one that's not too true to the tube. It's a little bit more primary on the lips. Now, all these shades pretty much are true to the tube. I give them 2 thumbs up. I think they're great. I'm so glad that bright lipstick, different lipstick, colorful lipstick has finally hit the mainstream. And like I said, if you have been reluctant to try bright colors, you might want to try them now. What do you guys think about this collection? Are you really happy to see a bright range of lipstick? Or you're just like, no, we should have stuck with the reds and the pinks and the purples, you know, the common shades, the nudes. Are you more of, would you have rather seen that? Are you happy, even if it's not your thing, are you happy to see such a change? Are you hoping that other brands will follow in this trend? What do you guys think? Let me know. Have you tried them? Are you a fan of them? Do you even like NYX lipstick? Let me know your thoughts, feelings, opinions. Just share with me. One final note, if you're wondering how you can wear shades like white and black without wearing them by themselves, you can always use these shades to darken or lighten a lipstick. You can also do the same with the yellows, the orange, even the pinks and the purples to slightly change your existing lipsticks just a little bit, make them either more blue toned. Even with the blue, you can make your pinks a little bit more blue tone, your reds a little bit more purple. They're definitely great for mixing because of the creamy consistency. So if you get them and you actually don't like them or you feel they're too bold for you, you can always have other uses for them. Thanks so much for watching. Please enjoy the picture swatches and follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.